Hello and welcome to CRISIL's podcast on road EPC companies. The revenue of road building EPC companies is expected to degrow 8 to 10% this fiscal, with the COVID-19 pandemic-driven lockdown severely curtailing activity. This compares with a 17% growth between fiscals 2017 and 2020, based on an analysis of over 300 CRISIL-rated EPC companies with a rated debt of 51,000 crore. With the lower awarding by the NHAI in the last two fiscals, revenue growth was expected to taper to some extent. However, this fiscal, the slowdown in execution due to lockdowns and the resultant labor shortage is expected to push revenue growth into the negative territory. Typically, in EPC projects, maximum execution and billing is done in March. However, the lockdown that began from March 22nd halted work in the crucial last days of last fiscal and has continued to do so this fiscal. The pickup in execution and mobilization after the lifting of the lockdown will be gradual. The upshot would be revenue degrowing 8 to 10% and margins for these companies being hit by approximately 200 bips in fiscal 2021. Given the effects of the lockdown, these companies had no execution and hence no income in April, but had to meet their fixed costs, which are primarily employee and establishment costs. These account for 12% of the top line approximately, and with sites operating at about 50% efficiency in most of May too, it would mean operating margins would decline by approximately 200 bips to around 12% this fiscal. Operations are likely to stabilize after monsoons as migrant workers return to project sites. The trajectory of recovery will therefore depend on the time taken to contain the pandemic. That said, the slowdown is unlikely to materially impact the credit profiles of these companies, primarily because of their robust balance sheet. To their credit, these companies have kept a check on their debt levels while pursuing growth. At a consolidated level, as on March 2020, their capital structures were robust, with gearing of about 0.5 times compared to 0.8 times in March 2015. And despite incremental funding requirements of their underlying portfolio of BOT and HAM assets, gearing is expected to remain healthy at about 0.65 times in March 2021. Efficient management of working capital and liquidity, though, will be key to tide over the current situation. That's all in this podcast. Till next time, thank you and stay safe.